Greetings one and all out here on the western spiral of the known galaxy. This is Joe of All Vapes bringing it to you. I forgot my towel. Definitely not prepared for interstellar travel today. But if you couldn't tell, we're talking about Sub Etha Vapes today, guys. Now, if you're as big a nerd as I am, you're definitely a Hitchhikers to the Guide Galaxy fan. Love it, live it, read it, watch it, you name it. You know what I'm saying? For right now, we can vape some awesome e-juice inspired by the book. So, technically, not, oh, there you go. There's the whale going on right there, folks. So technically, if you're, like I said, if you're as big a nerd as I am, you're going to immediately want to pick this stuff apart. But you know what? Just take a breath, take a vape, and envelop yourself in some actually decent inspired e-juices from the original storyline. So we're going to grade these one by one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 awesome bottles here. Really unique flavors, and I'm talking about outside the box. The majority of these, I've never even, tasted anything the like thereof. Probably wouldn't have come up with these by myself, but luckily there's enough awesome people out there that share the same interest as us to be able to put some stuff down on paper and come out with really good flavors. So, Galactic Gargle Blaster is the very first flavor that we're going to be talking about right here, and I don't have a gold brick with me, folks, so you guys are going to have to kind of flow along with me. You want to bust out the book, I'll wait for you. But first of all, I've got my little cheat sheet here. This one is a citrus peach and whiskey flavor, so very, very unique flavors working here. They tried to kind of keep it true to the profile from the storyline, which I really dig, but the whiskey was kind of a unique blend. Now, I don't know how else you could have gone with this flavor, but man, let me tell you, vaping this stuff was an absolute mystery to me. I was totally outside the box. Like I said, I did vape it, I sub-ohmed it and I tanked it. Really unique stuff, and I really had to kind of put my brain into exactly what they were trying to convey. So I busted out my copy of the book, and man, let me tell you, smelling this stuff, it smells a little bit kind of like a peach tea, but on top of that, definitely you got that citrus flavor going on, more of like a rind, so it's very zesty, but then the whiskey comes across as something I've never, it's kind of hard to explain. I've never tasted a whiskey vape before. There's a lot of e-liquors out on the market, if you will, and I've never been really too, kin into those. It's just very different flavors for me. I like things that are traditional. I'm a big-time dessert vapor, so that's kind of the stuff that I tend to lean towards, but trying something new every now and then is, definitely, I mean, you gotta, right? I mean, there's so many brands out on the market, so you just gotta try them out. This one was very, very unique, though. So light and airy as far as the peach. The citrus was a total palate cleanser for me. If you like e-liquors, I think you're going to like this one. It wasn't too heavy on the whiskey. So as far as, the sweet factor is concerned, I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 5. The peach, as well as the citrus, really proved to the sweetness factor on that. 0 throat hit for any of these. So that's across the board. As far as cloud production is concerned, I don't know what the VG to PG ratio is on this. I know there's natural and artificial flavorings going on in here, so I'm thinking it's pretty decent, somewhere along the lines of a 60-40 to a 70-30. So good cloud production. I'm going to give it a 4 on that one. As far as consistency and profile is concerned, well, I've never tasted a whiskey vape before, but the peach was really solid. The citrus was really solid. The blend and the mixology really unique and very good throughout the entire inhale and the exhale. So, I mean, it's going to be an experience, guys. I really think you should give this this line a try. As far as the Galactic Gargle Blaster is concerned, it won't knock you out for too long, guys, but you'll definitely want to keep vaping it. So, have a pillow on the floor for your head. The next one is Ford Prefect. Now, this one is a little bit outside the box. How do you flavor a guy that really takes things way too literally, you know what I mean? But this came across as very unique, so it's more of just kind of a tropical flavor with a ginger influence. And if you think about it for a while, tasting it, smelling it, vaping it, it really does kind of add up to Ford. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Somebody very, very serious with just enough fun to keep it moving, you know what I mean? Incredibly unique flavor combination. So very tropical, there's a little bit of pineapple, a slight amount of mango, maybe some familiar fruits in there as well, but the ginger really comes and smacks you in the face, right? I mean, it's just very, very unique. any of you guys have ever tried ginger vapes before, you're gonna love this flavor. It's, you know, not very predominant as far as ginger is concerned on the vaping market. So trying something this exotic is a pleasure, especially if they can do it well. They did it fairly well on this one. So the tropical vapes really brought the ginger through. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 on the sweet. Not real heavy on the sweet factor. Again, Cloud Production gets a 4. 0 once again on the throat hit, and the consistency in the profile, 5 out of 5 on that one, man, because what you read is exactly what you're tasting. Incredibly unique stuff. Zaphod Beeblebrox is the next flavor. I'm absolutely loving these names, man. This whole company, the whole concept, interesting stuff. This one is a sweet grape flavor. In fact, it's intensely sweet, and it kind of has to be. When you got 2 heads, you get double the fun, you know what I'm saying? So when you vape this stuff, if you like a traditional, like basically if you buy a bag of Skittles and you separate all the grape flavors and chew them all at once, that's what you're getting. You guys are going to absolutely love this stuff. Sort of reminiscent of grape Laffy Taffy with just a little bit more sweet and a lot less mellow. Unbelievably wonderful, pleasant flavor to this. Very sweet, great on the inhale, perfect on the exhale. The flavor does not linger, which is really good. So if I could go higher than a 5 scale on the sweet factor, that's what it would get. So let's say 5+ for the sake of argument. Of course, another 4 on Cloud Production, 0 on throat hit, and 5 out of 5 on consistency and on profile. Sweet grape is a perfect flavor for this. Zaphod Beeblebrox, it comes across very well if you know the storyline. If you don't, for crying out loud, man, you've been living under a rock. Do yourself a favor, watch the movie, or even better yet, read the book. Like nothing you've ever seen. Vogon Poetry. Now, I was hoping that this one wouldn't make me want to chew my arm off in the middle of vaping it, you know what I'm saying? But this one was fairly decent. When I say fairly, that is understating it. Now, this is a very individual flavor. I loved this flavor. Unbelievably unique and outside the box. This one is a black licorice and banana flavor. So this concoction came across so unique, so outside the box. You really have to be a nerd to come out with a flavor of this consistency, but the quality is top notch. Let me tell you, if Vogon Poetry tasted like anything, it would taste like this stuff, guys. And you might not have ever thought of combining those 2 flavors together, but they blend fairly well, really uniquely. The black licorice sort of really brings out the banana flavor, and the sweetness of the banana kind of gives a mellow consistency, kind of kills a lot of that bitterness that black licorice haters love to hate on. And I love black licorice. It's one of my favorite between the 2. You know, and I love banana vapes. So the mixology of this one was spot on. The blend was perfect. On the inhale, you get a strong black licorice flavor with a nice creamy mellow banana consistency, and on the exhale, everything dissipates perfectly, so you still get a little bit of a lingering flavor on the black licorice, but the aftertaste is that nice mellow creamy banana consistency. So I don't know where they're getting these flavors. I'm wanting to tend to believe that, you know, obviously they know enough about the storyline. They read the book before they came up with the flavors, because everything matches so well to the original storyline. It's just, you know, let's just keep on moving here through this. So Deep Thought is the very, very next one. So maybe it was between this and 42, but how can you flavor 42? Deep Thought has a sweet caramel tobacco flavor to it. So connect it however you will. The only thing that I know is that this one was really, really good. The tobacco came out as fairly true to profile. The caramel was a little bit lower in the sweet factor than I would have assumed, but it was kind of smoky in flavor. And I haven't said that about too many flavor combinations. It's not your typical RY4 or 5 for that matter, but it's a very good blend. The mixology was solid on the inhale. You get a nice tobacco, but it's a little bit lighter on the inhale. You get more of that caramel coming through on the inhale, and on the exhale, everything dissipates very well. A little bit more of a solid tobacco flavor, but the sweet factor was right where it needed to be. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 on sweet, 5 out of 5 on consistency and profile, 0 on throat hit, and of course Cloud Production gets a nice solid 4 on that one. Not the biggest clouds I've ever seen, but pretty darn decent, you know what I mean? So Dent Arthur Dent is the very next flavor, the very last flavor I might add. This one was some unique stuff, okay? This is, and for the life of me, I wish I could remember this, but it's pretty good. It's something entirely, but not totally unlike tea. Seriously. Smells just like a cup of fresh tea. Maybe if you took the tea bag out of the box and just put it up to your nose and got a really good bouquet, very floral to it, but with a little bit of a biscuity flavor on the back end. So cakey maybe, but more of kind of graham cracker-ish, something like that, a traditional type of biscuit flavor. Very raw, very earthy, and it just tends to kind of give a little bit of a mellowness to the tea. So smelling it, very good bouquet. Unbelievably floral, really truly true to profile, complete in itself. The consistency was amazing on this. If I could give it higher than a 5 out of 5 on consistency and profile, I would. So let's say 5+ for the sake of argument. Of course, 4 on the cloud production on this one, 0 throat hit, and I'm gonna go with more of kind of like a 4 on the sweet factor, because tea in itself, this is more of just kind of a raw tea in the flavor. So it's still a little bit sweet, but nothing massive. The blend and the mixology on this, absolutely amazing. I'm saying that the guys at Sub Etha Vapes really took the time to envelop their brains into an amazing storyline and took bits and pieces out of that, just the right bits and pieces, and made some incredible flavors that are so outside the box, so unbelievably unique. I think the people that are going to benefit from these flavors the most are definitely going to be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans. So do yourselves a favor, read the book, then watch the movie, and while you're doing it, vape some Sub Etha Vapes right here. These definitely ring true and I think are a wonderful homage to the storyline. And if you know what I'm talking about, I'd hate to see the dent when that whale drops, you know what I mean? So Sub Etha Vapes, you guys get an A+ in my book. Thank you very much for having the patience to stick it through with Joe of All Vapes. If you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, look on Instagram and check these guys out. You're definitely going to love their website. Read the profile and description of these flavors a little bit more in depth. You're going to get a laugh out of this stuff, folks. And what makes it even better is that it's not overly campy to the point where it suffers the flavor quality of all of these awesome flavors. Really good stuff. 30 milliliter bottles of any one of these going to run you about 19 bucks, $18.99 a bottle. Very good quality. I'm thinking the VG is probably about as high as it can get without getting the 80-20, 90-10 limit. So you can still drip these. You're going to get a decent amount of cloud with a solid amount of flavor, regardless of whether you tank it or drip it. So if you dig this review, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Stick with me. Spread the word here. Joe of All Vapes on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram. Got some great discount codes going on with some equally great companies that care about the community and really want to spread advocacy, folks. So give these guys some support. Love yourselves. Stay humble and love each other. And you keep it cloudy.